Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, my
Wow, I
goodness.
swear, we're gone for like a few days and everything just either completely falls apart or we have some crazy news to talk about.
How was your weekend, my friend?
It was long, but we are and bloody. Markets have been
Markets have been stupid.
unforgiving, but there's two projects that have not been letting us down lately. We're going to
Just
talk
remember, markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent.
And listen, I can remain irrational for a long time.
So for those of you that did ask in the chat, my son did qualify for the regional tournament. So super proud of him. He worked his tail off.
So what happens when you retire the bloodline. Love it.
Well, not sure what that has to do with swimming, but sure, just keep swimming. That's our crypto motto.
Just keep swimming. And what we have way too many Finding Nemo references. Speaking of
I love Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is awesome.
The bubbles.
What's your favorite new Disney? Like, are you like Finding Nemo? Or are you like the Cars ecosystem? What is it?
It's called Soul.
Soul? That's your favorite?
It's like my newer one, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that.
Damn, Stable's down with that too, and so is Pippin. Yikes. Again, don't really know what that is. We can't keep up on the millions of new crypto projects every single day, but most things have been pretty stagnant. Pi. Ooh. I was just talking about Pi actually to one of my buddies who's been mining it on their phone. Pi is actually a really good network. It's up 30% for the week. It kind of gets shit on a lot because you mine it on your phone, but Pi is a really interesting network. So that's cool to see that's up so much for the week, considering everything else there. Bitcoin just dropped off. Guys, we'll probably get into this in a little bit, but I think we've said this before on the show, and then we saw the biggest crypto liquidation in human history. But I think the bottom's in, guys. I mean, for the month, JC, we're covering up the year a little bit, so I can't exactly see, but for the month, we're down 30%. That is what for the year also. Historically, we have seen between 30 and 40% corrections on Bitcoin every time we've seen a correction or we get into the bottom. 68K is a substantial drop from where we were a couple months ago.
October 10th, we were up at the 125 range. It's just been, so what is that, 5 months ago? 5 months ago, we were at all-time highs. And we've dropped roughly 50% from all-time highs. But, and we'll talk a little bit later about a couple of technical analysis people calling for, the possibility of one more drop into the 50s and, that being the real bottom. But like Reptar said, I agree. I think we're near the bottom of what's going to be happening here. And I think we go back up.
And that's kind of the point I was going to make too is, yes, it's very scary to watch a 60% drop or a 50% drop, but every time this has happened, we go back up. Every time we've hit a bottom, we start an accumulation phase and it goes right back to new all-time highs.
Yep. And we've talked about it last week. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday or Friday or whatever, but like Bitcoin is the only asset in history since we started tracking assets in history that has lost more than 60% of its value 4 times and come back to new all-time highs.
And, we made a YouTube short about this. Guys, if this is like life change, if this technology is like the next best thing that's going to change the world, if it's the new internet, if it's, changing banking, if it's helping supply chain, if it's doing all these great things, why is it down so much? And, it's really hard to explain that to people that come in new without first explaining to them how corrupt not only the banking system is, but, the Federal Reserve and all these things that are going on behind the scenes. And we'll talk a little bit about the Clarity Act because there was some news on that and some updates on that. But basically, guys, this is complete price manipulation.
Yep.
And if you think about it, we're really kind of following the 4-year cycle still. Every 4 years, just in case for some of you new people, the amount of Bitcoin that can be mined is cut in half. This causes a massive supply shock in Bitcoin. And every 4 years, we see some pretty heavy price action, followed by a correction into a bear market. So everything is still playing out the way we expect. But the difference is this cycle, we see massive institutional adoption, which to me means if you were investing in Bitcoin a few years ago, there's no reason you should not be continuing to right now and still.
Oh, if you were investing years ago, you're still up. Yeah. I'm not concerned. For example, I don't hold any Bitcoin right now, but I've been holding XRP for years. Oh no, XRP is down to $1.40. That's still way up for me.
It's
I've been here long enough. And 4 years from now, if you're just now getting in, 4 years from now, you're gonna be like, oh man, Bitcoin fell down to 150. Well,
imagine losing 60% of your investment and still being up.
Just wait, guys. It's time. It's time in this new technology, and we will do like the internet. And just because you're .com doesn't mean you're going to stick around forever. Just because you're crypto doesn't mean you're going to stick around forever. These garbage meme coins will not be around forever. FedEx did not invest in meme coins. We're going to talk about that. That's our big story for the day. Like, utility is going to matter in the long run. In the short run, yeah, meme coins will be great. And meme coins, I think, will have a place because memes will always have a place. But it's not the window for these short-term projects to make you money before they collapse to zero and go away is shrinking rapidly.
I think that's a great point. And, of course, yes, you could buy a Lambo off of, getting lucky on Shiba Inu. We've seen it happen before. But at the end of the day, what we do here is we focus on the projects that are quite literally changing the world, fixing some kind of issue, taking this technology that we really see has a lot of potential in doing something with it. And the project that has done the literal most the whole time that we have been investing in this, we've been in this project since it was at 4 cents. It's currently at 11 cents, between 10 and 11 cents. And I personally believe HBAR is going to $150. So we are going to explain why I think that. And everyone can feel free to call me an idiot in the chat because in a few months here, HBAR is going to be buying some private planes. So let's get into it, guys.
Yeah. Let's before we get to the HBAR news, that's going to be our big story. Let's run through our normal stuff. Coin market cap. Let me
we skipped over all the fear. Damn, 13.
Oh, hey, we're up, man. We're up. Yes, last week it was 8.
We're so back.
Yeah. So let's take a look here. Market cap 2.3, which is kind of the lowest it's been. Let me clicky. And,
we were at 4 trillion last year.
So let's see. We made it all the way down to. Help me out here. What was that 2.17? Yeah. So yeah, but last year we were up in the over 4 trillion. All right, let me back up here. Fear and greed is at 13. Bitcoin did play over the weekend a little bit. We talked about the possibility that it might. Let's do a 24-hour candles. We were down here last week on the. You can't see that, so let me come over here. Yeah. So now, here's a green candle, almost engulfs the full red candle. That's on the 5th. This is the 6th. We came back up, and we've been bouncing around between 64. Did come up to 72 on, the 15th? So on Sunday, we kind of hung, had a little Valentine's Day pump. 69, nice. 70 for Valentine's Day. And then, we're just back down here to 66. We're gonna bounce around here. There's a couple of people, like I said, technical analysis people that are calling for a possibility of a flag playing out down into the 50s and kind of bouncing around in the 50s and 60s for a minute before we start our way back up. If you like to play short-term volatility, you should have some options here. You better know your numbers. You better know, your resistance and support
Don't
numbers.
use 200x leverage, guys. Come on. But I think I love that, Crypto Daniel. Guys, this is the time to pay attention. Like when people buy at the bottoms of the market, especially when things are like fundamentally this bullish, that is where people have made like serious life-changing money. If you're buying Bitcoin at 100,000 and it goes to 200,000, cool, you doubled your money. Great. That's a good get. But if you buy Bitcoin at 50K and it goes to 200K, that's a 4x. Like the multiples that we're going to be seeing here, especially in altcoins, while everything is just bleeding out. Yeah, don't be like Reptar. Don't do 250x leverage with no stop losses unless you know you're going to win.
We don't give financial advice. You do whatever you want. Just don't be a moron. And some would argue that going 250x leverage with no stop loss is being a moron, but
or
you do you, boo boo. Yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. If it's an old adage in everything, houses, stock markets, any asset, you don't make your money when you sell. You make your money when you buy.
Yeah, and buying requires liquidity. And I was reading some statistic. Think about this, guys. $2 trillion was just liquidated over the past year in the markets. Me and JC on the show talked about how much $1 billion is. Okay, if we gave you $1 million every day, it would take a year for you to get to $1 billion. So $1 trillion would take 2,700 years, and that much money was just gone over the past year. $5 trillion. That is an unfathomable amount of money, and that was only half of the money that was in it. Oh my god.
Oh gosh, that's right. Reptar went long with no stop loss, and therefore his phone got destroyed.
Dude, check this out, dude. I wish I could show you my phone graveyard right now. I have like 13 different phones. Hold on, this is my newest one. You guys ready? See, bam.
That's your newest phone? Like you just got it?
Yeah.
Like
iPhone 15 Pro. Yeah.
Like over the weekend, that's your replacement phone?
No, not this one. No, but yeah, Reptar and I have a case, guys. Yep, don't destroy me in the chat. Reptar does use a case, but here we go. We're gonna have to break into the HBAR bags again today.
Not today. It's down today, or I mean, it's still at the 10-cent level.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ugh.
We'll wait a couple days. So what is this? Smart money isn't panicking.
Like what we're just talking about. This is from Crypto RS, big crypto YouTube and X guy. Whales are accumulating right now. Strategy bought another $120 million worth of Bitcoin at 66,000. Smart money is buying smart money. Yes, OtterBox, by the way. Reptar doesn't need an OtterBox. He needs an OtterBox inside an OtterBox. Grief. But yeah, 372,000 Bitcoin per month flowing into long-term accumulation wallets. Those wallets that have been sitting there for years stacking Bitcoin, they're buying right now. So just for his reference there, in September of 2024, a year and a half ago, instead of 372,000 Bitcoin per month, it was about 10,000.
And you know what's insane? We talk about smart and dumb money, and we're not just being mean, guys. Those are concepts. But the thing is, Harvard, the smartest entity in the world, or what people think is the smartest entity in the world, they bought the top. They bought Bitcoin at 100,000, and Harvard is down now like 30%. And I just think that's hilarious because they just shit all over Bitcoin for so long, and then they bought the top and got wrecked. It's just, that's dumb money.
Take a look at the chart, guys. The whales don't get wrong leveraged or set up, whatever. The whales don't get it wrong. The whales don't lose money.
Yeah.
This purple graph here represents the accumulator addresses demand. Okay.
Oh, this is a great chart, man.
These addresses are stacking more Bitcoin. They're not selling, they're buying what retail panics are selling. People that are getting they're buying the leveraged stuff. Let me back up here. Let me back up. Let me turn that off and go to this one. Not that one. This one. Binance is sold. Wintermute has sold. Coinbase has sold. Fidelity has sold. BlackRock has sold. And these guys are playing. I saw something. Gosh, who put this out? It may have been Crypto Klaus. Crypto with Klaus, another great YouTube channel. He just brings news. And pointing this out, basically, Binance got caught, or maybe it could have been Moon Lambo. I'm not sure. But basically, Binance got caught wash trading. Like, buying and selling back and forth so that it looks like there's more volume when they're really just trading the same 10 Bitcoin back and forth. They're selling Bitcoin 10 Bitcoin and then buying 10 Bitcoin and then selling, and all it does is artificially pump up the volume.
And why would they do that, JC?
To make it look like prices are moving more than they are, to make it look like volume is heavier than it is.
That sounds like manipulation.
That's right, Mr. Gray. Choo choo.
I love it. Yeah, guys. It's the exchanges. You know, we talk a lot of positive stuff about Coinbase. Exchanges are exchanges. Centralized exchanges are not exactly the greatest thing in crypto either. You know, we've seen a lot of negative stuff of the whole collapse of FTX. We saw what happened with Celsius. There's Mt. Gox. There's a lot of liquidity in these exchanges, and they do take advantage of that. And Binance has been a very sneaky player in this game for a long time. You know, we don't get political on here, but it's kind of weird that Trump pardoned CZ, considering just, you know, the relationship with China and the fact that Binance is quite literally the biggest crypto competitor to the United States right now. It is the biggest exchange. So
yeah. But this was put out by Crypto News Hunters at 9:56 a.m. today. 40 billion was wiped out in the last 30 minutes. That's going to be leverage. People look at, you know, this weekend. Oh, look, we're back towards 70. Okay, we dipped a little. I'm going to go long because we're going up. We'll take that. Thank you.
That was my weekend. JC's like, yep, should have had a stop loss. Idiot.
JC does not leverage trade. JC want, like, every time JC thinks, oh, let's go, you know, we're down here around the bottom, we should look for these levels. I don't understand the levels well enough for me to make my leverage purchases. So yeah, we're not doing that. Just a couple of other things that are just general crypto news that we want to talk about, and why the prices are where they are right now. This is the latest Crypto Jeb video. If you want to watch him, I like his technical analysis. He gives you upside and downside analysis. He gives you levels to watch. And if it breaks below this, or if it breaks above this, if it retests this, he's predicting today we could pump up even up to 80K and then pop back down.
Give people that false hope, you know?
Yeah. This was from Tech Leviathan, that you know, Trump is talking about using Bitcoin to just wipe out the national debt. That's been talked about, you know, since he was campaigning. It's an interesting concept, and I don't know what would happen if the world's just decided, if the countries of the world just decided to be like, you know what, we're just going to pay off that debt. Here you go. Here's a check.
All right, conspiracy theory time. You guys ready for this? Real quick. We've talked about this in other episodes, so I'll be really brief about it. But imagine this. Imagine the U.S. has been sitting on a bunch of gold since, you know, the dollar was depegged. You know, there was Trump was talking about Fort Knox and how that there's 400 tons of gold in there, and you know, we haven't really known if this is true or not, or if there is any gold in Fort Knox. My point is, the price of gold and silver have been unnaturally spiking, and the U.S. stopped giving out minted silver coins, meaning they were hoarding their precious metals. We saw an unnatural pump in precious metals. And then
let me add to that.
Yep.
We stopped making pennies. presumably because it costs 4 cents to make 1 cent. However, what's the main ingredient in pennies? Copper. What else do you need copper for? Anything and everything military.
Yep. And it's very interesting to me because if you think about it, the price of gold and silver just completely went, and then the price of assets like Bitcoin and stocks and stuff just completely plummeted. So wouldn't it make sense for them to pump up what they have already to the most that they possibly can, and then sell it for an asset that's at the bottom that they're ready to absolutely send to the moon, 1000x, hundreds of millions of dollars? Boom, national debt paid. Yep. China's pissed. CZ's in the corner crying. It's coming.
And other one other bit of world news that could negatively affect all asset prices, especially oil, but also including crypto markets, is where did it go? Yeah, from Stellar Rippler, Iran has shut down part of the Strait of Hormuz for military drills. If you don't keep up with politics, and we don't do politics here other than to mention, hey, this is a political thing that or a world event that's going on that could negatively affect us or positively affect us in the crypto world. If there is a Middle East war with the U.S. and Iran or any number of countries over there, and the Strait of Hormuz is one of the main trade routes for particularly oil. Like I think I heard the other day that 40% of all oil from the Middle East travels through the Strait of Hormuz. So if that gets shut down, we have a 40% supply crunch on all oil supplies. That's going to make oil prices rise. Oil prices rise makes everything more expensive to move around the globe. That could negatively affect all parts of the supply chain, which drives prices up, stock markets down. Stock markets go down, Bitcoin goes down, crypto goes down. So that's just something that's going on in the world that could, if we see, it's not really a black swan because that's something you can't predict. But we could look at this and go, if things got bad over there, that's going to be bad for risk on assets. It's also going to be bad for oil, which is bad for everything. That's something to be aware of.
And you bring up a great point, JC, because of what we're going to be talking about here soon. Supply chain is so much more important than people think it is. JC actually worded it perfectly. If it costs more money to move things around, those things become more expensive. And that's a good takeaway to remember as we get later.
And that's less money. That's less extra money for extra things or for riskier things. But this is the reason I brought up this particular one from Stellar Rippler is he goes on and says, wait a minute, this is just more conspiracy. So yeah, the oil prices are going to go up. The Japan reverse carry trade is unwinding. Dollars and markets are falling. Like we're devaluing the US dollar right now. Markets are going down as they will if the oil spikes. Interest rates are going to fall more, especially once we get Powell out of the way. And this is all setting us up for this transition to this new financial system. Again, this is his speculation, but I like it. His prediction is that the U.S., Europe, BRICS. By the way, did you see, Reptar, you weren't here Friday. We talked a little bit about Russia and by extension part of BRICS agreeing to maybe go back on the U.S. dollar standard. Isn't that interesting? But U.S., Europe, BRICS, the Middle East, Africa, and East Asia are going to be like, you know what? Let's just all kumbaya, and we're going to have some unified global rails, new financial world order, blah, 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 blah.
It's starting to sound a lot like one world currency. Just saying.
Yep. All right, let's see. We did that. Is there anything else we need to talk about before? This is one other little piece of news I thought you might like to see from crypto.news. Here's a list of the fastest blockchains based on block time.
Interesting.
And that I just thought that was an interesting thing to talk about. Aptos has the fastest blockchain time. Arbitrum. Movement Solana is number 5.
Solana is killing
Monad, look at that. BNB, SEI. Near is up there.
We've talked a lot about Near. We have a whole video about AI coins and Near. And Near is a very interesting blockchain. If you guys we'll talk more about it. I definitely wanted to get deeper and just make some videos about particular projects individually, but Near is very much worth looking into.
I love that. I love that Athos official replied to that. I love it.
The degeneracy in crypto is just amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into our main thing today.
Guys, you know,
you don't have enough HBAR. That I'm going to go ahead and
are not
going to bury
the
lead.
Today,
You don't have enough HBAR.
What are you doing? These people. JC, what's going on?
I have some cash on the side for this if crypto does dump one more time. And if I can snag some HBAR in the 6 or under range, boys and girls, I'm going to buy as much as Cassius.
Cassius, the rapper? I didn't know he was a fan of HBAR.
I'm going to spend the remainder of my little cash that I have from selling my Bored Ape if HBAR goes down below 6.
Guys, full disclosure, HBAR is my biggest holding. It is my favorite project. I love everything about it. I have so many alien conspiracies about it. My favorite project by far. And, this is one of those projects where, we talk about projects that we think are going to be here over the next few years. XRP is obviously getting all of the attention right now. But HBAR is one of those projects that I think is it's doing just as much. It's doing different things with the technology. But the partnerships, guys, I mean, every single giant tech entity is involved in this. You got military contractors for the government. You got the World Health Organization. It just goes on and on. And they just added yet another massive partnership. And we're going to get into it and kind of explain what this means and why Reptar thinks HBAR is going to $60. This is what you guys have been ready.
Yep. We briefly mentioned this on Friday that HBAR and FedEx have partnered and what that means for, FedEx. What do they do? Oh, that's right. They do freaking international logistics, transportation,
and supply chain,
right?
Which we just talked about, guys, how important supply chain is and how it affects prices. And if you guys have ever ordered something from Amazon or gotten a letter that didn't come when it was supposed to, supply chain is a real issue in the United States and in the world. And it's a very complicated system, and they're using HBAR. When we talk about these partnerships, they're not just like, oh, this is our buddy now. Like, they are integrating their technology. They are working with them to fix supply chain issues. And they work with all these different companies for different reasons. But this is so much bigger of a partnership than people think it is, because it affects a massive industry.
Yep. And FedEx, they didn't partner with them, just partner with them. FedEx is on their council now.
So we talk about Dell, Google, IBM, all these massive partners. They not only are partners, as JC just said, they are a part of what's called the Hedera Governing Council, which means that they help make decisions about the future of the project. So you can kind of see them as an investor and also a board member that's making decisions about the future of the project.
Yeah. So I'm just scrolling through the stuff. You feel free to talk about what I'm pulling there. I'm going to pull up something.
Yeah. So this is some great info. I mean, FedEx operates in 220 different countries. It moves millions of packages every single day. There's a lot of data that needs to be tracked. Honestly, I agree with that. Hedera is doing more with blockchain technology than any other project I have seen, and it's sitting at 11 cents right now. It doesn't make sense to me because the price action looks awful. And when I talk to people about HBAR, they're like, oh, it's down 60%. But it is literally doing the most of any other blockchain right now. It's working with tokenizing real world assets, similar to Ondo. It's got all these massive partnerships. It's working in supply chain and data management. It's moving data for the government contractors, for the military. I mean, we've talked about this a lot before. Satellite transmission.
It's quantum secure.
There's just so much to talk about with this, guys. It is literally being chosen by these companies for a reason.
That's from All in Crypto there. The president of FedEx Data the digital transformation of global supply chains is inevitable. Hedera provides a neutral, enterprise-grade trust layer.
and this is true for any investment. Find something that fixes a problem that's early that most people don't know about. This is the closest thing in crypto I've found to something that fixes an actual problem besides XRP. I love XRP. I think it's a great project. The banks are completely corrupted and it needs something to make things a little bit more fair. I'm not saying it's going to fix everything, but
let me
HBAR
change
is
our
up
view
there
here
too.
so you can see that. Guys, this is the Hedera Governing Council consists of up to 39 leading global organizations: Boeing, Google, IBM, FedEx, LG. All right, look, here's the key members as of this thing: technology and service providers, Google, IBM, Wipro, Tata Communications. There's that Tata, I don't know. ServiceNow, Dell, Chainlink Labs. Okay, aerospace and logistics, Boeing and FedEx. Finance and banking, the FIS WorldPay, Nomura, and Standard Bank. You know, big boys. Telecommunications, Deutsche Telekom, the Zane Group, retail and consumer goods, Mandela's and Magazine Luiza, I don't know what that is, legal and academic, DLA Piper, University College London. You've got Avery Dimensions, Denton's. Is that EFT? I don't know what that is. LG Swirls. Guys, let me see what see what that looks like. Seriously, can we not do better than that? I guess we
I
can't.
have the I mean we could try and find the graphic, but the takeaway is, guys, it's not just one industry, it's not just one company. This project is literally changing and making all of these industries more secure,
That's the
more
same one.
fair. And I want to address this because yes, it would have to go to an insane market cap to go to $60. So why do we think that? Yeah, okay, perfect. There's the governing council. Guys, we've seen people make this argument on XRP. That XRP is going to go to $10,000. And you know, we basically you know, we kind of shit all over those price predictions because we're like, that's not realistic. That can't happen because of things like market cap. I will concede that market cap isn't always an accurate way to measure how much a project could potentially move. XRP, for example, the amount of money moving through XRP actually is going to be a contributing factor to the price action because it's a supply and demand thing. But again, XRP doesn't have a fixed supply. So there's a lot that goes into this when you're making price predictions. It's not as simple as just like, okay, cool. Like this market cap says it can't go higher than this. Because as Ice just said, for HBAR to go to $60, it would have to be the market cap of the entirety of crypto today, the entire crypto market cap. That's not possible this cycle. It would not be possible for HBAR to go to $60 within the next year. However, the next 5 to 10 years, if it continues to make partnerships and sees global adoption and, you know, continues to work in all of these industries, the demand for the token and the utility for the token we might actually see prices around $20 to $30. That is completely possible. And everything after that is kind of just speculation. I mean, a lot of these tokens are trading on hype. You know, they get so hyped. Yes, exactly. Market cap isn't always the answer, but it is an important metric to look at when you're discussing things like price predictions, because there really is only so much money out there. And it's important to kind of take that into consideration. But if you're telling me that there is a project that is 11 cents right now, and it has a possibility to go anywhere between 10, 20, maybe even $30, maybe 60 if we see some just insane over the next 5 to 10 years, we see some insane adoption. We see, you know, people just over evaluating it. It's overbought. The price just keeps going. It's possible. And if you're telling me there's a chance on something, a AAA project like HBAR, I'm going to take that bet every single day.
Yeah. This comment for some reason didn't pop up on the YouTube page, but it did, or maybe Ice or Mr. Gray took it down. But yeah, talking about market cap with something like XRP or HBAR, it's not. It is a factor as to how high the price can go. But I agree with your sentiment there. It's not market cap for XRP or HBAR is not what's going to define how high the token price can go. It is a factor. It's in the live chat, not in the top chat. Okay, thank you. That's why live chat. I don't know why that didn't do that.
I Mr. That's a great point. Nobody thought Bitcoin would be at 100,000 back when it was trading at 5 cents.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't. I agree with you. I think market cap has a place in your any person's analysis of how high a token could go. I don't think it is the the market cap would have to be this, so it can't do that. Nothing can do something until it does it. Like Elon Musk couldn't, catch a rocket with a claw out of the freaking sky until he freaking did it. So, yeah. But here, this is from who's this from? Sorry, this is from B Mendo X. If you don't know anything about HBAR, where have you been? But here you go. Enterprise grade tech, real adoption. Obviously, FedEx. The wallet that I use as well as Hashpack. That's what I use and do all my staking through. But you can buy HBAR on any centralized exchange. It's what is it? It was top 20, maybe it's top 25 now. So it's a big one. But yeah, on Hashpack you can buy it with your debit card or Apple Pay.
APY is very nice as well, guys.
Yeah,
much better than your banks.
It's non-custodial, beginner friendly. That's correct. Binance, Kraken, Coinbase, Crypto.com. Saucer Swap is where we do. That's the DEX. That's where we do all of our liquidity staking. I'm not familiar with Bonzo Finance, but if you like to do DeFi stuff, like lend your stuff out, this is what he's recommending.
I would stick with Saucer Swap, but that's my personal opinion.
Bored Ape Hedera, that's interesting.
Vibes on chain. Forgot about that.
Yeah. They do have some meme coins, real world assets, tokenizations. Obviously, real world assets is a huge narrative that we talk about all the time. HBAR is one of the big ones. There you go. Here's your speed, 10,000 plus transactions per second. The fees are ridiculously cheap. And it is a hash graph. It is not a blockchain.
It is the evolution of blockchain.
Think of it as blockchain 2.0.
100%.
But let's see. What else we got on Hedera? From J-Chains, like I said, FedEx doesn't care about meme coins. They care about moving billions in value efficiently. Guys, this is what a lot of the crypto space is going to be about. The projects that will stick around long term are not, a picture of a frog. Those coins will make you a little bit of money, at least the top 5 people. But if a large company can provide their goods or services faster, cheaper, more efficiently, they can make themselves more money. They can make their stockholders more money. They can lower prices to customers. That's the crypto projects that are going to stick around, is things that make the system faster, cheaper, more efficient.
And it's crazy because it seems like HBAR is doing that like across the board. Again, guys, it's involved in multiple industries, not just supply chain, not just real world assets. And this is one of those projects that is taking the technology of blockchain, or in this case, Hashgraph. And it's like JC just said perfectly. It's making things cheaper and easier, which is going to make people money. It's quite literally as simple as that. It's solving massive problems in the world.
And this is HBAR's page here. FedEx processes 16 million packages a day across 220 plus countries. Now imagine that shipment data verified on chain. This isn't a pilot program. This is a Fortune 50, not Fortune 500, Fortune 50 company joining the governing council. The real world utility era is here. This is their graphic of how that looks.
When a Fortune 50 company is investing in a new project with some of the other biggest companies in the world, that is a project that I'm buying all day at 11 cents. Wild.
Look at the names on the governing council. Look at them again. Look at them as many times as you need to realize, wait a minute, maybe there's something here. You don't have enough HBAR.
I don't have enough HBAR.
No one has enough HBAR. Is there
No one has
else?
enough HBAR.
All right, let me look
I
and
missed
see.
the Friday the 13th show. I'm pissed about that.
That was fun. HBAR integrated Coinbase's X402 payment standard recently. I'm just. This is me checking if there's any new news before we call it a day. HBAR, FedEx just flipped. Yeah, we know. We're talking about that right now.
Let me tell you what. I'm gonna start having my packages shipped FedEx to see if they get here faster. Ooh.
Canton Network. Something I need to look into.
One thing I do want to touch on too is just a project we've been talking about. Ondo. Ondo has been doing well as well, and they're also involved in supply chain. And between Ondo and HBAR, I think they're going to be the major players. Ondo is actually working on tokenizing the entire stock market on chain right now. Which, I mean, guys, enough said. It's the stock market on chain. So imagine buying an NFT of Nike stock. Like that's where we're heading. So
I don't know, guys. It's there's stuff. But we'll see what happens today if the markets continue to be meh. We have a fun. I had a great little thumbnail and title and description for today, but we may use it tomorrow if nothing happens. I'm just looking to see if there's any other really, really important breaking news, and if not, I love lizard. Makes me happy. We watched that on Friday. Reptar, you need to watch this. I shared it. It was hysterical. We had a good time Friday. There is that Reptar's latest phone?
All right, come on. I gotta. Oh, damn! I've done that. Oh god, I gotta. One day I'll show you guys the phone graveyard. That's for sure.
All right.
Some of it was from the liquidation event. Some of it was just from dropping it. You know, I mean, come on, it happens, guys. Why do you think Apple comes out with a new phone every year? They know.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else you guys are seeing before we call it a Tuesday and say see you tomorrow?
Ooh. The only thing I want to mention is, guys, tomorrow, game night. What are you doing? Get in the Discord. We every week we run an event where we do a little bit of what we just did today, kind of get a little bit more degenerate. It's a little bit more unhinged, but we give away prizes. We play some games. We talk about Web3 games that are exciting in the space, and you know, it's a fun time. Definitely come in. Maybe you'll win some free crypto. And we do that at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Wednesday. So make sure you are there at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me.
Yeah, Mr. Crypto Daniel, what you buying? What are you looking for? What are you looking to add? What bags are you looking to pump?
AI, real world assets. Like, what are you guys looking at?
Yeah, Reptar needs to check his tickets. Yeah, there's a few tickets that are specific to Reptar.
I know. I've been.
I have answered all of my tickets yesterday, so mostly Bitcoin.
So
yeah,
they're done hounding JC. Now it's back to Reptar. I will definitely check the tickets today. I'll get to them, guys, for sure. But yeah, hop in the Discord, guys. There's a lot of really smart people. We talk about all these different projects that we're looking at. You know, projects like Ondo and some of these other ones, Arrow, also were recommended by the community. So. If you guys want to find a good group of guys and girls that are, you know, working in the crypto space and helping each other out, definitely take a look in the Discord.
I like it, Crypto Daniel, looking into robotics, AI, as far as just general tech sectors. Yeah, we're all going to be replaced by robots. We'll have robots cleaning our house. We'll have universal basic income. And our really only purpose will be to log into the Oasis and play video games all day.
That's what Elon said, man. I don't know. It could be. We'll see.
Everybody needs to get orange pilled, get on the Bitcoin train, realize that traditional banks, traditional finance are not here for you. They're here for them. So,
yeah. So let's stick together and try to make some money in the process.
yes, ICE is the man. Ondo, Arrow, and Chainlink. He brought those to our attention. Thanks for being here. We will see you guys tomorrow morning. We are chomping out of here.
Woo! Send us away.